way, sir, towards the fan.
Good morning.
This Canadian smoke is trying to kill me.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, terrible. So you must be Canadian.
That's right.
All set.
All right, good morning. My name is Kat. I already know you're from Canada. And you are in a 1924 Depot Pack. So these were essentially a taxi, and they were owned by the railroads. So they would take people to and from where they had to go. And station wagons were named and designed after this particular car. And when you see an older station wagon with wood on it, it's paying homage to the wood that this was. And station came from the train stations, and because it was a taxi, they called it a wagon. So there's today's little bit of history for you. Where in Canada are you from?
Alberta.
Oh, right, you're way up there. My husband's from Montreal. So you've been to the village before or first time?
First time.
First time. Okay, so this is Porches and Parlors, meant to recreate a small village. This is the Logan County Courthouse. Abraham Lincoln practiced law there for about 25 years. And when we acquired the building, it went through a whole lot of vetting to make sure it was actually what they said it was. And they went into a closet, and Abraham Lincoln had signed his name, because occasionally he liked to just get a little quiet time, and he would go into that closet. So that's how we were positive it was his.
That's cool.
This building right here is our newest addition. It is called the Jackson Home, and it comes to us from Selma, Alabama. And it was a safe house for Dr. Martin Luther King during the Civil Rights Movement. So a lot of important people and decisions came through this home. So in 1929, when the village opened, it was a school. So the different buildings housed different grade levels, and children were taught traditional education, but they also learned farming and gardening and domestic skills. Henry Ford really wanted to turn a well-rounded individual out of here that could be prepared for real life. So all these buildings come from someplace else. They are not reproductions. So Henry Ford would send a team out to dismantle them and bring them back here and reassemble. If you love French fries, you have Luther Burbank to thank for that. Luther Burbank was a botanist, and he did a lot of work with vegetables and flowers, and he invented the russet potato. So it's a drier potato that makes a nice crispy French fry. So there is a train stop here. This is the Susquehanna Plantation up on our right. So if you want to save a little time walking today, you can hop on the train, get off here, tour this whole area. When you're finished, hop back on and take it over to the next area. Susquehanna Plantation was a tobacco farm from Maryland. We used to grow tobacco here, but we had a Civil War reenactment. They spent the night, and they took it upon themselves to harvest all of the tobacco for themselves, and so from then on, we never grew it again. We did have the oldest working windmill in the United States, but a windstorm took out two of our arms up there, so that's out being repaired. Daggett Farm is a working farm from the 1700s. They're in there stoking up their fires and preparing this afternoon's meal. But they farm, they brew beer there, they do all the day. They test F-150s and utility vehicles up there, so you may see some cars driving around. These buildings, I like to think about them like a humongous Lego project because they come from the Cotswold area of England. They were taken apart brick by brick. The border was actually saved as well and reground and reused here. But they took it all apart, numbered it, cataloged it, brought it back here, and put it back together. So I feel like in the 1930s that was quite an engineering feat. So if the buildings have closed doors, please try them anyways. I can tell you for sure that Edison is closed today, but a lot of them keep the doors closed to keep the humidity out and the air in to preserve the artifacts. Webster House, Noah Webster, he was the father of the American English Dictionary. That house was located at Harvard's campus and was going to be demolished, and somebody said, hang on. He called Henry Ford and he said, of course I want it. So we sent the team out there and brought it back and put it together. We have the Hermitage slave quarters that come from Andrew Jackson's plantation, not America's greatest time in history. We're coming into the Edison at Work area. Edison and Henry Ford were the best of friends, and he was also Henry Ford's mentor and hero. So there's a lot here representing their friendship. The Yellow House is the Sarah Jordan boarding house. So if you were a male, worked for Thomas Edison, and were unmarried, you could rent a room from Sarah and her daughter, and then walk across the street, go to your Menlo Park laboratory, and go to work. I do believe this is a must-see. The presenters in there are so knowledgeable, and it's just cool to stand where So with your ride bands, you can go on the horse and carriage, the carousel, the train, the bus, and the car.
Okay.
If you're looking for a nice sit-down, cool-off lunch, I recommend Eagle Tavern. It's one of my favorite restaurants in the state. It is an 1800s coach stop, and they have period food, and it's delicious.
Cool.
Doing some experiments in a car, and he caught the train car on fire. The conductor was so angry with him that he kicked him off here and banned him from the station, or the rail, and he lost his job selling newspapers. In this area is Liberty Craft Work, and that is where the glass blowing is, the printing, weaving, all that kind of stuff is what's out here. Do you have any questions for me? Anything about the car?
Is that the Advance that you're using there?
This is my throttle. This
Throttle,
is my spark
sure.
advance. I have 3 pedals on the floor. My right one's my brake, my middle one's reverse, and my left one is my clutch. So I only have 2 speeds.
Is this your battery?
This is coils.
Okay.
And every now and then they get out of alignment, and I have to pound the daylights out of them to put them back into alignment. It's a very, very advanced technical skill. If I had a rubber mallet, I'd use